Oh, well, Stephen, we're here by the campfire. Hey, do you have any questions for me about your visit to the Grand Canyon?
Hey, you know what? What's the best time to visit the canyon?
That's one of the most frequently asked questions, I guess, because it's the first one you need to know if you're planning on visiting. Let's go take a look.
Let's go.
Well, here are the four main seasons when people visit the Grand Canyon. You've got the winter, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, spring, and then we're going to talk about summer, and then finally, we're going to talk about the fall.
Okay, well, let's get our seasons in order. So, winter, I'm guessing by the way you've shared those calendar months, is between December and February.
It is. And your temperatures in the winter are anywhere from 15 degrees to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And then Celsius or centigrade, they are minus 12 to 7. But let's go take a look at what being here in the winter means.
Sure.
Well, the first thing I need to tell you, and it's a major question that we have every winter, is that the North Rim is closed. It is not open. Finally, there are less crowds, so it's a great time to come. It's also the most affordable. And the great thing is the West Rim shuttle is what normally operates the rest of the year. This is the only time of the year that you can come and drive your own vehicle on the West Rim Drive.
So it sounds like on a in a winter months, because just there's less people going over there, you get to see the park in a different light, different perspective. But the only thing is, make sure you know that the North Rim it's closed.
Absolutely. It's also colder, so you have to dress for it. But, one of my favorite things to do is to have hot chocolate while walking along the rim. Might be freezing outside, but you can have that nice warm chocolate to warm you up, or hot coffee as well.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so now we're in spring, so that's March and May. Let us know about what the temperatures, buddy.
Well, the great thing about the spring is our temperatures are coming up. We're now going to be in the 30 to 7 degree Fahrenheit, and we're going to be in the minus 1 to 21 degrees Celsius or centigrade. And let's go see what that means. Well, one of the greatest things about the spring is that the North Rim opens on May 15th. Always a big question every year. It opens in late spring. The number one thing you need to do in the spring is dress in layers. You need to wear a cap and a coat, and you need to come prepared for that wide temperature variance because it'll be really cold in the morning and it'll get warm later in the day. Now, there are less crowds with the exception of a couple weekends. Easter weekend, and also when there is a lot of when the colleges stack their vacations on top of each other. Typically, that's late March and early April. And then finally, the greatest thing about spring is right here. You'll see that it's turning green and the wildlife are starting to come out. That's when you'll see the elk and the deer and the
Fantastic.
foxes and all of the wildlife. It is a great time to be here. One other maybe a little bit of caveat for spring is it can be a little bit windy, but come to enjoy.
Fantastic. Right, let's move on. And we're into summer. June, August, I can imagine it's going to get a bit toasty, a little bit hot in the canyon.
Absolutely, it does. And that's when our temperatures go from 40 to 90 degrees, sometimes even up to 95, like this year. But it's in the 4 to 32 centigrade or Celsius for those who are visiting us across the pond. Let's go talk about what summer means to be at the Grand Canyon.
Let's do that.
It is peak of season here. There are lots of visitors you'll see here on the rim. One of the great things, though, is the north and the south rim are completely open to everyone. So either side, come and enjoy. However, it's crowded. So the number one thing you need to know is if you don't book early, you're probably not going to be able to visit in the summertime. This is when all the families come to visit. And one of the most important things that you can do to improve your park entrance experience is to watch the webcams, because oftentimes between 9 and 11 a.m. in the morning, that park entrance gate at the south rim can be buried. There is one little secret I will quickly share, and that is if you come in the east rim, oftentimes the line is not as difficult to get in. So that's what it means to come and visit us in the summer. It is peak season. It can be crowded. Book early. Book now.
I like it, like your thinking. Okay, so now we're into fall. That's September, October, time of my birthday, actually. So, what's it like in the canyon now?
Well, the thing that I love about the fall is the temperatures are starting to come down. Now we're starting to cool off. They're in the 20 to 70 degree Fahrenheit and into the -6 to 21 Celsius centigrade for those who are visiting us from other parts of the world and across the pond. So, a much more temperate time of the year. You'll see that the fall colors are starting to show up as well. Let's go find out what fall means.
Okay.
Well, the great thing about fall, once again, just like spring, you need to be dressing in layers, have that ball cap and that coat on, because you need to be able to go from those cold temperatures in the morning to the high warm temperatures later in the day. The important thing I want you to know is the North Rim closes in the middle of the fall, or October 15th. That's the North Rim Lodge. Now, a real quick point. The North Rim Lodge closes on October 15th. The North Rim itself does not close until the first major snowstorm or the beginning of winter on December 1st. It's hard to plan to come in that time period, so you kind of have to be close or leave it as an option if you're visiting other portions of the area here around the Grand Canyon. But the lodge closes October 15th. The North Rim closes at the first major snowfall or December 1st, whichever comes first. And then finally, couples and seniors are typically who come and visit in the fall. It's one of the most beautiful times of the year. The families have generally gone home from the summertime period. And the thing that I like most about the fall is the consistent weather. It does not vary a lot. Generally, obviously, storms can always surprise you, but it doesn't vary a lot. There's a little bit more variance in the spring. So let's go talk about what the answer is. What is the best time to be here? Well, here we're showing the fall, and you can jump over and be here in the spring as well. This is, you'll see here, this is when the snow is melting and when the change is coming. But let's talk about what my favorite is. Here's the fall right here. You can see the fall colors. Let's go talk about what my favorite season is. Fall. You know why it's the fall? Because you get that consistent weather, and it's a great time to be here in the trail. Also, I love the changing of the season. I love these fall colors. This is one of the great things I like about the fall. But most importantly, I'm a hiker. I love going into the canyon. And here you see these folks. They may look like they're struggling and straining, and you will when you come out of the canyon. But they're coming up the Bright Angel Trail right now, right in front of the battleship formation, right behind them. But see that consistent weather? That's what I love about the fall. So come and visit us at the Grand Canyon, and let's talk about when you can come.
So I think from the first visit I made at the canyon, we actually got married in Las Vegas. So it was a day trip for us, but it was so hot. And I think looking at the timing over here, it's a lot calmer. It's just a lot more pleasant. You've got a nice breeze. And of course, the changing of the colors of the leaves. I think that's the one thing we didn't see because it was just so bright. So yeah, it gives me almost a different perspective, a different look to the last time I visited the canyon. So, okay, let's wrap this thing up. So,
absolutely. You know what? It doesn't matter what time you can come. The best time is when you can come. I've shown you the advantages and maybe the challenges with each of the seasons, you know, whether that's winter, spring, summer, or fall. But the most important time for you to come to the Grand Canyon is whenever you can. We'd love to see you come to the Grand Canyon, and you'll have a different experience each time. And, you know, maybe you'll need to come back again. Are you considering coming back, Steven?
well, do you know what? As I mentioned, your favorite season happens to be the time it's my birthday. So I'm just thinking that could be a birthday treat to myself because I've always found that whenever you treat yourself, those are the best birthdays. So, Karlyn, I think if I can give a little bit of planning ahead of time, maybe give you a little holler, let's see if we can make this trip happen.
Absolutely. We look forward to seeing you here at the canyon, and it's good to be by this fire talking about the best time of the year to be here. See you soon.
See you on the next video, buddy. Take care.